All right, everybody, welcome. Good afternoon. Welcome to the talk show with DJ Gatsby. My guest today is the incomparable Miss LaDonna Marie. LaDonna, how are you today? Okay, wait, I can't hear you. Let's get you a mic
on. Okay, I'm on.
There you go. All right, now you're good. All right, once again, everybody, now everybody heard me. LaDonna, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
All right. Listen, it's a pleasure to have you back. I mean, you've been a friend of me, my show, and my whole journey in this book industry as a media personality. You know, we went from the book clubs to print interviews to radio interviews, and now we're doing the live interviews here. And it's just a pleasure to have you once again in my presence.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be back on the show. Congratulations, and thanks for adding me for this opportunity.
Yeah, well, when I decided to do this, you know, I did the TV shows when I was in DC. I was in the studio, but a lot of people who didn't live in that area couldn't make it to do the TV interviews in the studio in DC. So when the COVID era came back, when the COVID era came, and everybody's online doing Zoom and all of these live interviews on the internet, I was like, okay, this is my shot.
Yes.
In front of the camera, reach out to all my friends and people who I've worked with all these years and get reacquainted. So again, thank you so much for coming on. Now, so you've done a lot. The last time I spoke to you, or I was really in touch with you, you were in Europe. You were at some event where they're honoring women and authors and just important people. But before we start talking about that, I want people to get a little idea about your journey, where you're from, and what it is that you do, because, you know, we go back to your first book.
Right, we go all the way back. Well, thank you again. All the way back. So my name is LaDonna Marie, everybody, and I'm an author who loves to encourage and empower others to overcome their obstacles. I'm an overcomer of suicide attempt when I was 14 years old. And since that time, I've been, my mission has been to help people to be encouraged to know that they matter. And my slogan, like you see on my shirt, says to discover the champion in you. And so I've been doing that since 2010, my first book. But the book, me and DJ Gatsby, we met on one that won an award for his book club was Until Tomorrow Comes. And so that kind of set the trajectory of my life and encouraging others until that day comes when they can really fully be self-aware of who they are.
Yeah, and you're right. I admired you from the first time I came in contact with you, your drive, your determination. You weren't just an author, but you had a message and a purpose. And that superseded the books. But it seems like the books was your platform to get you to a place where God wanted you to be. And you kind of exhibited that to me. So let's talk about that first book, Until Tomorrow Comes. That's the book that really launches you into another level. You know, small girl from Mississippi, whatever, I forget the town.
Yeah, Mississippi.
But now it's giving you national acclaim. So tell us a bit about Until Tomorrow Comes and how that book came about.
So how that book came about, really though, I was about to do something else because at the time, you know, there were a lot of different authors. I was doing poetry at the time and I was following some authors and they were doing all of the erotic books. And, you know, I love all types of genre, but the Lord was dealing with me and he was like, you know, you're going to write, you know, that's what I want you to write. And I was trying to go that route, but he said no. And the next book was called Until Tomorrow Comes. And it was a journey of growth and awareness. And it was leading people in each aspect of their lives, helping them to know that there's going to be a journey, but you have to be aware of who you are, you know, your surroundings, and just how to win at life and know that the Lord loves you in every aspect. And so with that book, I became internationally known in London and then also with your award in New York. And so people all over the world, I mean, that book, I got like 58 5-star reviews on Amazon. In 2013, my name became, you know, out everywhere. And it was just because I wanted people to overcome what they were. I didn't want them to be stuck in a situation that caused them to, you know, not be able to grow, not be able to live, not be able to do everything that God had placed on the inside of them. And so going through each of those journeys in that book, help them to have their own aha moment. I never want to tell you what to do, but I want to give you scenarios in which you can see yourself in it, and then you can choose to grow from it.
Yeah, that was a fantastic book. When I hear that title, Until Tomorrow Comes, it basically, for me, it was kind of giving me the insight to hold on, keep praying, don't give up, stay focused, stay driven, stay faithful. Your season is coming tomorrow.
Exactly.
It's coming tomorrow. So until tomorrow comes, you got to do those things. And that's basically was the message and inspiration I got from that book. Now you mentioned how the book, garnered your attention nationally. It also garnered you attention internationally. Tell us about the organization that honored you, where it took place, and how significant that was in your life.
Wow. So yes, I was nationally known and also being internationally known. And I was so humbled because I won an award over in London. The name of the organization was Divas of Color.
Yes.
And so there was an organization who, helped women in their businesses, and they would spotlight women. And so I entered into I was nominated to win an award for, International Author of the Year. And I was nominated in 2 categories. And that was for my children's book, Larry the Alligator Makes Friends, and also Lessons 2, Mirror Conversations, a book that I had wrote for women. And although when I won for Until Tomorrow Comes in 2013, I had said to God, I said, if I ever get the opportunity to go international, I want to go internationally. I really wanted to go because I did not go to Paris that first year, but I went to, we met up in California, and we still did the award ceremony for the ones who had won in Paris. So when I got the opportunity and I was finalisted for the Divas of Color, I decided to go to London. And in my mindset, I was already a winner. I was like, I'm going to go anyway because my name is on the list, because they are, recognizing the books that I've written. And I'm over here in the United States, and they're in London in the UK. And so I got there, and I was sitting in the audience, meeting different people, networking, just, loving the whole, encouraging and empowering. And there were authors, there were writers, there were designers. It was people all over the world. And when it came down to my category, I heard my name called. And it's almost like the 14-year-old in me who had the dream of helping to heal others, as a 14-year-old, was just like cheering on the inside as I was walking up to the stage. And I got a chance to share with them. I became an international speaker in that moment as well, because I got a chance to share with them the journey and how I kept believing, and all of the years that I never stopped writing, I never stopped hoping, I never stopped dreaming, I never stopped working on, being a writer. And I even told them that if I hadn't even won the award, the reason for me just being there was that I believed in myself and I believed in the mission that God had given me. And so I came home an international award-winning author for both of those books in 2018.
Yeah, we were so happy and excited for you. I was like, that's my friend. I'm telling everybody, I promoted your stuff. She's going to be in Europe. She's got nominated for this award, International Women's Award, for her books. And, you've always been so positive and a believer that God had plans for you, and that your vision was there, and all you had to do is be obedient.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. We always talked about books, we talked about promotions, we talked about the poetry, we talked about traveling, we talked about awards. We brainstormed a lot.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for that, because you kept me focused. Your drive and determination and faith kept me going as well. Knowing people like you, you inspire people. And when you see people be successful, and I when I say successful, I mean when you see people achieving the goals, dreams that they set for themselves.
Exactly.
To me, that's being successful. If God put something in your heart, you pray about it and you put the work in, and it comes into fruition, and your season comes, you're successful at whatever that is.
Yes.
So I was so happy. But listen, that's not
you.
it. You said you were nominated the year before for something in Paris. Now the second time you're nominated again, but you say I'm going. And, so you go to Europe, off the strength of the books that you've had until tomorrow comes, and you mentioned the other two. So now when you come home, and I had spoke to you when you came home, you were a changed person. You were driven, you were determined.
Yeah.
You put God first.
Exactly.
With your gift.
Yes.
Tell the viewers a little bit about that, because you were humble. You write poetry books. You was an author. And you had told me one time you wanted to give up. You didn't want to write. You wanted to focus more time on your two boys. And then something happens. When you come back from Europe, you have a different focus, and you're putting God first. You have a message. You have a calling. Tell us a little bit how that transformation comes from just being a poet and an author with a mission to an evangelist, with a calling.
Well, that's a good question. And how it all ties in is like, Jeff, I was actually doing the work and not even just recognizing, because it became a lifestyle for me. Like the conversation that God and I had when I was 14 was that as he healed me, the writings that I wrote were going to help him heal others. And so it's just like I became a kingdom ambassador and a banner for all that, healing and encouragement for other people, without really, really knowing that I did, but I had just partnered with him and signed up. And so once I came back from winning the award, it blew my mind, because I was so thankful that I never let go of that dream, because that was 14 years old and it was almost 20 something years later. And so it was a testament to me of having the faith to believe even when I didn't see, having the faith to keep putting the books out, and having the faith to keep showing up and doing interviews and talking to people and showing up. And so it had faith in me that the 14-year-old in me, who some people said nobody will ever read my books, and all of the naysayers, that I still, that God still made a way for it to happen, because the idea was, it was his goal, it's his dream, and it was for my life. It was for no one else's life, but it was for LaDonna's life. And so once I just embraced that this is who God has created me to be, I'm, like you said, I'm very humble. I'm not putting myself above anyone, but I know that we all are designed. We're fearfully and wonderfully made. And what he's designed for LaDonna may not be for the next person.
That's right.
So I had to fully embrace it, because like I tell people, he wasn't going to stop calling me, and he wasn't going to stop giving me books and ideas and things to write. So I had to be obedient. So coming home as an international author, because that was something that he had said to me, and his word says that his word will not come back void. It will do just what he said it will do. And so his word didn't come back void. And it's like, I trust him like ever the more. I trust him. I believed so much on a higher level, because if you, like you said, you can take a little country girl from Fayette, Mississippi, and you put a dream inside of her, and you say, go with it, run with it, I got your back. It's just like, all things are possible. If I continue to trust God with the things that he desires for me to accomplish with my life on this earth. And so I speak that to many people through the message of discovering the champion in you, because had I not discovered my champion, I probably would have gave up. I probably would have said, this is not going anywhere. I've done this for so long, but I kept pushing. I kept believing. And, today when I accomplished a lot of things, people always, ask me questions. And I just say, I believe. Like, my faith is just, he said it, so it's going to happen. And I just have to stand in the gap and believe it.
All right, everybody, it's the DJ Gatsby Show. We're here with phenomenal international award-winning author, a poet, a motivational speaker, and evangelist, LaDonna Marie. I love your story. I followed you,
Thank you.
This whole purpose. And what I admired about you is that you stepped into the blessing that God had for you. You didn't run away from it. You didn't shy away from it. You embraced it, and you stepped into it.
Yes.
As a result of that, it took you places. You're doing newspaper interviews. You're in the local newspaper. You're being recognized by the city that you live in.
Yes.
You're doing national. You're doing television shows. You're on TV in your community. You're being asked to speak. What's that?
I said magazines.
yeah, that's what I said. Print. You're in newspapers. You're in magazines. You're on television. You're on radio. And when I say you're humble, you never turn down an interview for me. You never turn down an opportunity to go out and where you were needed or asked or felt you should be. God opened doors for you and you walked through them. I met you the first time at the First Read Expo here in Atlanta in 2014. Right. And it was a big deal for me. I told you about it. You told me you were going to be there. I made sure I was going to be there. And you were one of the main people that I wanted to meet. Simply because you weren't just a regular author. You're not an urban fiction, street-lit fiction. You're an inspirational, faith-based writer.
Yes.
Had a message and a goal that you had shared with me, but the public just it hadn't manifested itself in the public yet.
Right.
So I was just a fan as I just seen you blossom into this person, and to get these recognition. And when I see you, like you said, on the magazine, or if I see you on the TV show, I'm saying, though, that's my girl. I've known her. She's very talented. She's dedicated. She puts God first in everything that she does, and it's her season. I learned what that means. And when things are going good for you and you're being obedient to the word of God and things happen for you. Now, they don't always happen, but you have to remain obedient, because when your season comes, you need to be ready.
Exactly.
Now,
that's it.
You're still writing.
Mm-hmm.
You start this organization or the group Planting Positive Seeds. Tell us about Planting Positive Seeds. Oh yeah, I've seen all your media stuff, t-shirts, hats, and cups, and all kinds of stuff. I love your promotions. I love your marketing strategy. You invest in yourself. You invest in your dream.
Yes.
And again, that's being obedient. That's doing your part to be successful or follow the steps that God has laid for you. Right. So again, Planting Positive Seeds, something you're very passionate about. Tell us about that organization, when it started, why, and what's the mission with Planting Positive Seeds?
Okay. So Planting Positive Seeds, it actually started too, like in 2013. Like, it's been a 7-year journey for me with everything that God asked me to do. So it started in 2013. I was in California. I was, on almost like a spiritual sabbatical with one of my spiritual moms, and I just heard God say, while I was just, I was just hearing everything, and I heard him say, you're going to do a conference. It's going to be called Planting Positive Seeds. And I'm like, me? And I had never done a conference before. Like, this was something that I had never done, but I just said, okay, like, all right. So I left there July of 2013. And it's like the Holy Spirit just walked me through everything that I was needing to do. So by November of 2013, Planting Positive Seeds was birthed. I had my first Youth for Christ conference. I really wanted to help. He said to help him get his children. And that's, people all over the world, helping to empower them, helping them to overcome obstacles, helping them to get unstuck, helping them with personal development and also spiritual development, and doing practical steps to get them where they need to be. And so I was an overcomer of things, and I had a story to share with them, because God has no respectable person. If he does it for one, he'll do it for the other one. And so Planting Positive Seeds became, a nonprofit that helps to empower and encourage, and also a give back. I do community outreach with young women and girls. I give out self-care kits because I am a survivor of suicide. I have a passion for those who, suffer from depression, who suffer from suicide, who, suffer from anxiety, because of a lack of knowing who they are or feeling affirmed in who they are as a person. And so Planting Positive Seeds is just that. I'm planting positive seeds in the lives of others daily. And I do that. It says my mission is to promote peace while serving. And so I'm serving, because the Bible also says that the greatest among you will be a servant. And so I want to help them to see, that you can do it, that, you know, whatever God put inside of you, that you can do it. And so I've done conferences, I've done retreats. You know, I'm getting ready to do my first virtual conference because we're living in this COVID world.
Okay.
I'm doing virtual this year.
Okay. Well, listen, I remember when you started talking about it. These are all things that have grown out of, you know, you're starting to write, and the messages, you know, as readers follow your books, they take a trend. They move toward a place where you're bringing people closer to God and the blessings that he has, and helping them understand their gifts and plans that he has for them. So congratulations on that organization. I look forward to hearing more about Planting Positive Seeds, a program in the future.
Thank you.
Now, I tried to contact you the other night. I'm trying to call you. I'm trying to get in touch with you because we have the interview today. You tell me, I'm at a meeting, I'm at a conference, I'm at a show, I'm doing something. I have to call you later. So I go on your Facebook, and I'm like, she at another award ceremony or some other place where they're honoring people for their achievements. I said, here she goes again. All right, so tell me, what were you doing yesterday, and what type of recognition did you get from that? Where were you, and what was it you attended?
So yesterday I was a part of the Success Women's Conference 2020. It's a conference that is held by her name's Karen Cherry, Dorothy Wilson, and Tiffany Bell. They're three ladies who built the Success Women Conference and the network. So all of this week, I think they started from October the 5th to today. They have been doing like 110, you know, bringing people content, bringing them speakers and Les Brown and different people. But on yesterday, we had the Top Influencers Awards, and we were recognized local top influencers down in Biloxi and on the coastal area. And they also recognized the national top influencers. And I got an award on yesterday for a national top influencer. All
right, so kudos to you again, man. I wish I had my sound effects here. I would be giving the applause or something. So again, you're being recognized for your achievements, and you're so humble. You attend these events like, you know, I'm just got invited, something I wouldn't want to attend. And then you end up getting recognized and having a chance to speak. How has all this changed your life? Because you're really in the spotlight. You're really in these organizations. They're recognizing you. You're going places and doing things. You know, how has this changed your life?
So it's changed my life because I remember in the beginning, you know, I always put God first, and it's for his glory. Because as a kingdom ambassador, I want to show people that if you love God, if you're righteous and you're holy and you set to do his principles, his way, I'm yielded to him, that the Bible says that he gives good gifts to his children. And if you desire, you know, if you seek him first in his righteousness, all things will be added. And so I live by biblical principles. I seek to put him first, and then these are things that he rewards me with over the way. And I love it because I get to show people, and I always hashtag impacting lives, because I want to be the light. I want to be able to show them that how you can, you know, do it for the kingdom, how the Lord can shine through you, and the gifts that he has, you know, within you. You don't have to compete with nobody. You don't have to cut nobody's throat. You don't have to put nobody down. You just love them. And that's what I tell people. I was like, most of the time, all of the people that I've met over the years, I just show them my warmth, my care, my concern, you know, empower them, encourage them. And so what I have been doing, you know, I get, you know, recognition because I'm just thankful. And so on yesterday, you know, my heart I was really excited. I was really thankful because I've traveled all over the world, and even my podcast has, you know, become internationally known. Like when I look on there, I have like 5 or 6 different countries. Yeah. And so I just want to show people that, you know, by loving God, you know, all things are possible. And so you can live a great, holy, encouraging life, and you can still go after your dreams and desires and everything that he put in you, because he knew who you were going to be when you were born. And so the things that are inside of us are gifts that he gave us anyway.
Okay. All right. So listen. So now this brings me full circle about the time I met you when you were doing the books, and you had a desire to share your message, to share your testimony, to inspire others and tell them about the goodness and greatness of the Lord.
Yes.
So now, you've added evangelist. You've embraced it. You've been an evangelist for so long, but you've embraced it. You've accepted the title, and it's the most important thing in your life now. So, when I say you're an author, a writer, a poet, a motivational speaker, I have to put evangelist at the top of that list now.
Right.
How did you get to that point? And was that a calling? You go into the ministry? Where is that? Because that's a new LaDonna for me, and I'm anxious to get to know the evangelist. So tell us a bit about that and how that's manifested itself in your life.
So for me, I've known since I was young that I was set apart, and in living the life that I've lived, my mindset was always kingdom focused, but it was like I was too young to have the language. I didn't have the language for what I was experiencing. I just lived it. And it's just like with me, after my attempt to commit suicide, when the Lord, I had an encounter with the Lord, and he said that he validated me and that, I was going to help him heal others. And so for me, it was like the evangelist, all the things that he put in me started then, because I'm very heavy in healing and intercession for other people. And I've done that privately. Like anybody that need prayer, anything that they need over the course of my years, I've always been that person to represent the kingdom and be there. And I don't have to be loud about it. I'm just being obedient. And so I grew up all of my life just being obedient and saying yes. But it got to a point, Jeff, in 2014, I was in church and he was calling me out, and I was like, no, I'm not ready. I'm just learning how to be a single mom. I'm, trying to, get my life together. Like, no, I don't think I'm ready. And he was calling me, and I heard him loud and clear. But I said to him, I was like, I'm still going to do what you want me to do. I just don't want a title. I didn't want a title at that time. And so he never stopped calling me. And the things that he had asked me to do, that my gifts started to just grow within me. They just started to grow. And I always read my Bible. When I'm not on social media or somewhere, I'm probably somewhere reading my Bible in worship and praying. And that's just my life that I live, so I'm outside. So that's why I say it's a lifestyle for me. And so the Holy Spirit within me, it's kind of like we're all, he lives within me, but it's just like a lifestyle, it's woven into me. Yeah. And so scripture will come out, and whatever people need, they need a prayer, whatever they need. It was like I was the kingdom ambassador to be there for them at that moment. But what made it so real to me was in 2018, after I had moved here to Mississippi, I was attempting to write things that I wish I knew. The book I came out with this year, and then another book that he had given me. And I just heard the Lord clearly. It was October of 2018. And he was just like, if you don't come up and get this title, I'm going to take writing away from you. And so when I heard that, I was like, what? I've been writing all of my life. I've been writing since 14. What would I do if I wasn't writing? And so for me, that was just I knew he was serious about me stepping up into the calling, to being chosen, to doing what he asked me to. And so that he could give me more gifts and, pour out more anointing on me for the work of the kingdom, because I had to understand that this is his will. So I just started to say, thy will be done and not my will. And I started to just get out of my own way. And so as I began to do that, I started to, like I said, embrace it. But I was already living a life. Anybody could tell you, they would text me or call me or ask me to pray or to come or to do something. I was already, and most of my conversation was something, biblical related, making sure they were saved, making sure they knew where their soul was going to be, whenever, that time came. And so then we moved on up into this year. I got ordained as a pastor. And so,
congratulations, yes.
Thank you. It's just like just moving into where God has called me to be, and so I want to do what He wants me to do.
Wow, it's amazing to have known you and see you through this journey. And we used to talk all the time, and you would talk about it like, you know, that this is what I'm need to do. This is what I'm going to do. You know, it's, you know, this is something in me. And you mentioned the fact about the writing that you wanted to write. And but you know, you was having a calling to the ministry, or you know, to just share the gift that you have to bring people closer to Christ. So congratulations, and
thank you.
So proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to hearing you speak. You know, we've talked a lot, and but I haven't had a chance to hear you speak. And I'm looking forward to that. So listen, it's only a 30-minute interview. You know you're going to have to come back on at some point.
Right.
To kind of fill me in on what's going on. This is something new that I've started with the DJ Gatsby Show. We're on Facebook Watch, which you can watch on Smart TV, Fire Stick, or any other streaming devices online. You also can do IGTV on Instagram as well as YouTube. So,
awesome.
And I'm really happy with the response I'm getting. All of the people that I've worked with before are like, yes, please bring me on your show. I love the way you interview. I'd like to talk to you again. My life has changed so much since then. And I'm just happy that people like you still support me. Not too big, not had the international recognition to forget about, you know, the little people here in the States.
Right. Dem, I've grown to love you and your show and all that you've done. And just like even this interview, you remember so many intricate parts of like the journey. And so I'm thankful for you and what you do. And I'm always here to support you. And you know that.
Right. Hey, how are your two boys? I meant to ask you, how are your two boys doing? I practically grew up with them now. I've been hearing about
them. They are good. Look, the boys are good. One is 12 and the other is almost 10. His birthday's coming up, and so they are really good, active, energetic, smart, and intelligent.
Yeah, I remember how supportive they were and how they would help you with whatever you do. Whether you're mailing out books or you were doing a book signing or something, you'd always have them with you, and they're always there to help and support you in every way. All right, so listen, what can people look forward to you doing in the future? Now, you mentioned that you had some books that God had placed in your heart. Do you have books that you're waiting to write and or publish, or are there any other projects you're working on?
Yeah, so I do have a book. I'm looking to release it in December. I'm gonna, probably do a cover reveal in the next couple of weeks. My month is slowing down now. Yeah. So I have one more book that I want to personally do, and I'm working on some co-author books, but I'm only a couple of co-author books for the rest of the year, because I really want to get these out. The tone is right, and I'm looking to do some more projects as far as like maybe bringing out another spoken word poetry album, something with my voice, not in the books. Sure. And then I have a play that I really want to give it the time and attention that it needs to see what can happen with it and actually get some actors and some people, because the message of Lesson Shattered Pieces Being Restored is that play. I made it a play.
And so one. All of your books, everyone has a special place in my heart, simply because I was at a different place when I read them, and after reading them, I had a better understanding of you and how your books touch people.
Yeah.
So, congratulations to everything that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
As I said before, promise me that you'll come back on the show in the future.
I'm coming. I will. I will come on.
Tell my viewers where they can buy your books, or where they can visit the Planting Positive Seeds website and follow you on social media.
Okay, so you can buy my books from my website, which is www.ladonnamarie.org. You can also go on to Amazon and type in LaDonna Marie, and you will see all of my books. Mm-hmm. You can also go to the Planting Positive Seed nonprofit website. It's www.Planting Positive Seeds. You'll get a chance to see all of the amazing things and initiatives that we're doing. And if you want to support Planting Positive Seeds, you can pick us as a charity on Amazon. Amazon Smile has a opportunity out there that you can support the charity. Just pick Planting Positive Seeds from Fayette, Mississippi, and you can support the international and national initiatives that we do. Once again, I'm on all social medias. If you go to my website, I have where you can follow me on each one of my links on Twitter, on Instagram, and LinkedIn as well.
Wow. All right, everybody. Again, it's DJ Gatsby Talk Show. My longtime friend.
Yay!
And, you know, just I'm so proud of you, the success that you have, and
thank you
going on spiritually. You know, I'll count you as a spiritual advisor because I could come to you if I need to talk to you about something, or if I need prayer. You know, I know that God has placed that spirit in you, and then you'll always be there for me. All right, so did you want to say hi to anybody or any shout outs before we go?
I just want to thank you to all of the listeners of your show, and like all of the people that support me, and even the new supporters, because I'm here to help them leap into their greatness. So I just want to thank you for each and every person that has followed my journey, and also to the new people who will come along on the LaDonna Marie Books journey.
All right, everybody. Again, it's DJ Gatsby. Don't forget, you can watch my show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're also streaming on Facebook Watch, Instagram TV, and YouTube. Follow me at DJ Gatsby X on all those platforms. And don't forget to visit my Who's Who in African Lit.com website, where you can see LaDonna Marie. She's featured on there, and links to buy her books. All right, so LaDonna, thank you so much. I give my regards
thank you.
To your boys.
Appreciate it.
And everybody keep looking for me on Facebook. As I said, on Facebook Watch. If you're at home, make sure you watch it on your streaming device, Fire Stick, or what is it? It's Fire Stick, Smart TV, and your gaming device. Peace, God bless you, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye.